Hi Julie, my name's Candice. I'm your occupational therapist. How are you today?
Hi Candice, I'm good, thank you.
That's great. So I've read up on your notes and all the information written by previous clinicians you've seen, and it sounds like you've been going through quite a rough time at the moment. How has it been so far?
Yeah, you can say it's been a tough ride over the past few years. I've been lucky enough to recover from my cervical cancer, but being diagnosed again has been quite rough. I'd like to get back to my children and not be so tired all the time.
I can only imagine how hard that would be for you, and that's why I'm here. Today, I will be explaining my role as an occupational therapist, what occupational therapy is, the definition of occupation, which may differ to what you may actually think it is, and what your role may look like to maximize success. Have you had any experiences with occupational therapists before or know anything about occupational therapy?
No, I haven't actually. I'm not really too sure about what you guys do, to be honest.
No, fair enough. That's all right. Let me start off by telling you more about my role. So, as an occupational therapist, I'm here to help you participate in activities which you deem as important and are a priority in your life. We start by evaluating the activities or occupations which are meaningful to your life and what you'd like to get back into, the challenges which are stopping you from doing so, and then setting goals to achieve this. So, just to clarify, I know many people get confused with the term occupation and think it means your everyday conventional work, which it can be, but as a whole, it's just another word for activity. Does this make sense to you?
So what kind of activities are you talking about?
Well, these activities could range from anything, such as going to the toilet, feeding yourself, to sending your girls to school, fulfilling your role as a mother, or going for a walk as part of your routine. It's really anything that you find fulfilling and meaningful.
Oh, I see. Okay, that sounds pretty clear. So to reiterate, occupational therapy helps me do any type of activity that means something to me.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's important for me to be clear with the type of role that I play here as part of your therapy, so that you don't feel lost or confused about what I do. We'll also be doing this as a team. You're the expert on your life and and an expert on what you want. If any problems arise, we can work together to figure out what the best practical step is. And I'd love to you to feel comfortable with me so that you can provide your honest feedback and truthful opinion. If you have any concerns, feel free to let me know. I'm here to listen and help.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. That sounds good.
So, in order for me to help you, I'd like to start off by getting to know you a bit better. And I'd like to do this through completing a questionnaire. So, the one I have today, it's called a McGill Quality of Life Questionnaire. And it asks you to rate different aspects of your life, such as your physical health, which includes your pain, your fatigue, or your general emotional well-being. You'll get a better idea of what it's like once we start.
Okay. So why do we need to assess quality of life? How will it help exactly?
Well, quality of life is a pretty good indicator of how well you perceive your life. Illness and cancer, as you have experienced, can be really debilitating and prevents you from doing anything that could be meaningful for you, which in effect could lower your satisfaction in life. Essentially, my aim here today is to figure out what areas you're flourishing in, as well as parts of your life that you may need some attention to. With this information, we can come together to think of strategies to improve and increase the quality of life. It's a very personal questionnaire. There's no right or wrong answer, and completing this will give an idea of what your concerns are.
Okay, sure.
So this is the McGill Quality of Life questionnaire. I'll read out the instructions first and give you an example. So the questions in this questionnaire begin with a statement followed by two opposite answers. Numbers extend from one extreme answer to its opposite. Please circle the number between 0 and 10, which is most true for you. There is no wrong or right answers. Completely honest answers will be most helpful. So for example, I am hungry. Not at all, 0 to 10, and too extremely. If you are not even a little bit hungry, you would circle 0. If you are a little hungry, You just finished a meal but still have room for dessert, you might circle 1, 2, or 3. If you are feeling moderately hungry because mealtime is approaching, you might circle 4, 5, or 6. If you are very hungry because you haven't eaten all day, you might circle 7, 8, or 9. If you're extremely hungry, you would circle 10. So there are 4 parts to this questionnaire, and we'll start with part A. And it's very important that you answer all questions for how you have been feeling just in the past 2 days. Part A. Considering all parts of your life, physical, emotional, social, spiritual, and financial, over the past 2 days, the quality of my life has been from 0 to 10, 0 being very bad, 10 being excellent.
I would say maybe a 4.
Okay. Now we'll go on to part B, the physical symptoms or the physical problems. So in part B, there are 3 symptoms that you yourself will note down, which have been the biggest problem for you over the past few days. Some examples include pain, tiredness, weakness, vomiting, sweating, etc. So circle the number which best shows how big a problem each one has been for you over the past 2 days. If you don't have any physical symptoms or problems within the last 2 days, then write none. So for the first trouble symptom, what would you say would be yours?
Oh, definitely fatigue.
Fatigue?
Yeah.
And how would you rate this from 0 to 10?
Honestly, I would say that it would be a 9.
A 9?
It's quite a big problem.
Okay. And your second symptom?
Second symptom, I would say, would just probably be lack of appetite.
Yep. Has this, so 0 to 10, 0 being no problem, 10 to being tremendous problem?
I would say maybe an 8.
8? Okay. And your last trouble symptom?
My last troublesome symptom probably just have to be sleep. I get fatigued during the day, so I find that getting a proper sleep is a bit hard at times.
Mm-hmm. And 0 being no problem to 10, which is a tremendous problem.
I would say around a 7.
7? Okay. And lastly, over the past 2 days, I have felt 0 being physically terrible, 10 being physically well.
Past 2 days, I would say I've been maybe a 6.
6? Okay. So now we'll be going into part C. So please choose the number which best describes your feelings and thoughts over the past 2 days. So over the past 2 days, I have been depressed, not at all being 0, 10 extremely.
I would say an 8.
Mm-hmm. I have been nervous or worried.
I would say an 8 again.
8. How much of the time did you feel sad?
In the past 2 days, I would say I'd probably give myself a 7.
7, okay. When I thought of the future, I was not afraid, 0, and 10 being terrified.
I would have to give that a 9.
9.
Definitely.
Over the past 2 days, my life has been 0 to 10, 0 being utterly meaningless and without purpose, 10 very purposeful and meaningful.
I would say an 8.
8?
Yeah.
Okay. Over the past 2 days, when I thought about my whole life, I felt that in achieving my life goals, I have 0, made no progress whatsoever, 10, progress to complete fulfillment.
I'll say an 8 again.
8, okay. When I thought about my life, I felt that my life to this point has been 0, completely worthless, 10, very worthwhile.
I would say an 8 again.
8. Over the past 2 days, I have felt that I have 0, no control over my life, 10, complete control over my life.
I'd say probably a 9.
9. Over the past 2 days, I have felt good about myself as a person. 0, disagree. 10, agree.
I have to say 5.
5, yep. And to me, the past 2 days were 0, a burden. 10, a gift.
A 5 again.
5,
So.
yep. And over the past 2 days, the world has been 0, an impersonal, unfeeling place. 10, caring and responsive to my needs.
I think I would say maybe a 7.
Yep, and over the past 2 days, I have felt supported, not at all. 0, 10, completely.
I'd probably say a 9.
A 9, okay. So this is the last part. So please list or describe the things which had the greatest effect on your quality of life in the past 2 days. Please tell us whether each thing you list made your quality of life better or worse during this time. If you need more space, please continue on the back of this page. So I'll get you to do this in your own time,
Okay.
just due to time constraints. So that's the end of the assessment. How did you find it?
It was really interesting for me to really reflect on my life at the moment, and it sort of made me more aware of how well my life is going, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. This type of questionnaire really does open your eyes to how your life is currently. This will definitely help my role as an occupational therapist to view your life holistically, and to consider all areas of your life when going forward, whether it be physical, cognitive, or emotional. From here, we'll be looking at your results and going into more detail about why you're unhappy, or figuring out ways we can improve the areas of your life you rated lowly on, and would like to improve on.
Okay, so what kind of steps will you be taking next?
We'll be setting some goals and having a look at your results thus far. Some ideas we can look at include learning how to manage your symptoms, such as your fatigue and pain. For example, we could look at relaxation techniques and looking at your sleep hygiene. We'll discuss what type of strategies we can think of to improve your ability to look after yourself, spending time with your children, engaging in roles that you find fulfilling, and any other type of goals you have. We'll discuss this further next time I see you, but our goal is to empower you with strategies which will help you improve your overall quality of life.
That sounds really useful.
I'm glad to hear. Did you have any other questions?
No, not at the moment.
All right then. If you do have any questions, feel free to contact me. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.
Okay.